The parable of the servants and the son. Jesus once told a parable about a man who planted a vineyard and leased it to farmers. When harvest time came, he sent his servants to collect the fruit, but the farmers beat one, killed another, and stoned the next. Still, the owner sent more servants, and they were treated the same. Finally, he said, "I will send my son. Surely they will respect my son." But when they saw him, they said, "This is the heir. Let's kill him and take his inheritance." And they did. This parable is a picture of humanity's story with God. He sent his messengers, prophets, judges, and kings, but time after time, people rejected his voice. In the beginning, God speaks with Adam and Eve. In the beginning, God spoke face to face with humanity. He didn't just create mankind, he desired communion. But when sin entered, that fellowship was broken. Even then, God did not remain silent. He began to reveal his plan, step by step, generation by generation. God finds Noah. The world became corrupt, but God found one man who still listened, Noah. Through him, God preserved life and began again. It was a revelation of grace and judgment at once. God calls Abraham. Then God called Abraham and made him the bearer of the promise. With him, God made a covenant. In you, all nations of the earth shall be blessed. Genesis chapter 12, 3. Abraham didn't see it all, but he believed, and his faith made him the father of a nation and of all who believe. Moses, the law, and the judges. God spoke to Moses as a man speaks with his friend. Exodus 33:11. He gave the law, the commandments, and the tabernacle, symbols of his presence among his people. But Israel wavered between faith and rebellion. So God raised up judges, men and women like Deborah, Gideon, and Samuel, to remind the people of the covenant and lead them back to him. The people asked for a king. The people wanted to be like other nations. They cried, "Give us a king." Even that, God used to fulfill his plan. He anointed David, a man after God's own heart, and promised that from his line would come an eternal king. Even when the kings fell into sin, God still sent prophets to call the people back to himself. The prophets and the silence. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and many others were voices of God in times of chaos. They spoke of judgment, comfort, and redemption. But after Malachi, heaven grew silent for nearly 400 years. It seemed as if God had stopped speaking. Yet even in the silence, he was preparing the arrival of his Son. The Son is sent. And then, God spoke to us through his Son. Jesus is the living Word, the Son who was sent, the heir who was rejected, but who conquered death. Everything the prophets foretold is fulfilled in him. He is the complete and perfect revelation of God. Application and closing. Today, God still speaks, not through thunder or visions, but through his word and the Holy Spirit who lives within us. Every page of the Bible carries the voice of God echoing through time. And every time you open it, the same God who spoke to Adam, Noah, Abraham, and Moses speaks to you. In the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways, but in these last days he has spoken to us by his Son. Hebrews chapter 1, 1-2. The Bible is alive, and you are part of its story.